Alintuta. Today we take on... Hey, buddy! Do you have to do this now?
But it's jazz!
Don't you have some KSP videos to make for the channel?
Fine. Also no more jazz?
Anywho, today we take on the mighty saga of Pachacuti, of the Inca Empire. Pachacuti ruled the Andes during the 15th century and united the tribes under one banner. The journey starts with the mission to retrieve 3 artifacts for Viracocha, the ruler of Cuzco. In this scenario, we are pitted against 4 enemies, with the option to ally ourselves with Quechua, situated right next to our base. The game doesn't explain well what I need to do to become friends with Orange, and I assume I just have to switch the stance. It doesn't work. After overviewing the objectives, I noticed there's 3 options and I choose to buy them out Disney style. Not noticing the settlement came with the market, I built another one. After sending the gold, Quechua becomes our best buddies. The little village grows slowly, with most resources being dumped on the economy. Chanca attacks are annoying and force me to waste time calling the villagers in. And because I know this will get old very fast, walls are queued up on the northern cliffs. Also on the side facing Tambos. Cuyos predicts I am building walls and send rams, but they don't do much. For an extra teaspoon of defense, I built a castle right next to the wall. Soon after we march toward Tambos' base and start raising their military buildings. They don't offer much resistance, and soon there is nothing left to destroy. Not wanting to waste time, I moved the army north to attack Cuyos. Sadly, I forgot about the objective and I'm forced to retreat to capture the artifact outside Tambos' ruins. Thinking I need monks, a pikeman gets sacrificed to make space for them. Very historically accurate. Upon capturing the first relic, I noticed the artifacts are strong independent living relics that need no monk to move around and send it our way. Siege units are slow and I didn't want to wait, so I put the Eagle warriors to attack the gates. Thank you for opening the door, Mr. Eagle. We find the reason Tambos still exist, a sneaky barracks right on the edge of the fog close to our walls. Not a problem. The artifact is against our religion and refuses to enter the monastery. More troops on the way to Cuyos and their town center drops to our swarm of Kamayuks. I found the second relic on a tiny island on the far north of the map. Such a stupid obstacle to add. Game gives us siege engineers for no reason. Thanks, I guess. Time to build a transport ship to get to Stupid Island. I should have seen that bridge on the way. In a fit of rage, I sacrificed the transport ship to gain some blessings from the gods. Not gonna lie, the villagers fighting jaguars and barely getting a scratch is pretty hardcore. The rams deal with the castle, and we retrieve the second artifact on wheels. On the way to the base, the artifacts switch aside and we have to murder everyone to take it back. We sacrifice the villager, this time to be able to build a transport ship that will take us to Stupid Island. Just so the troops aren't idle, I send them to annoy Chanca, so they know how it feels. About 2 minutes wasted to bring a soldier to Stupid Island for the artifact. Because putting the artifact on the opposite side of the map isn't enough, they also make it the slowest thing in the whole game. It also has to be on the exact spot or it doesn't count. Last one arrives and this godforsaken mission is finally over in 1 hour, 23 minutes and 53 seconds. The field of blood starts with Viracocha asking us to get rid of Uncle Wallach's army with our very weak forces. To top it off, the enemy spawns new troops every time the old ones are killed. It was a blunder and the game expected us to lose the battle. After, Viracocha turns out to be a chicken and run to hide in the mountains, while his son decides to take lead and rebuild the Temple of the Sun in Cuzco. Walls are my first priority, as I can sense there will be multiple attacks on the sad 2 villagers building the wonders by themselves. Luckily, we are separated by a river with very visible shallow waters, which makes it fairly easy to wall. I really like how the walls look around bridges, it's very pretty and symmetric. The economy grows at a decent rate as my allies aren't under any big threat, and I don't have to focus on military yet. Oh wait, Kana is actually being attacked right now. We send the little forces we have to repel their attack, but some buildings are lost in the process. Chanca thinks rams are the answer to everything and forgets to bring other soldiers to protect it. Uncle Hualok has beef with Kanchi and I have to rush down to save them. Kana's town center fall while I wasn't paying attention, hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass later. How many rams do these people have? Fearing I might have to defend the wonder after it's done, I built a castle right next to it. And I was correct, time to wall off everything I can. The attention to detail on this wonder is amazing. Chanca sends another wave of rams to try and break the temple, but they are unprotected and fall easily. For good measure I build another castle next to the temple. Haha, eat shit rams. This corner also needs a castle, just to be safe. More pointless rams to destroy. And the scenario ends in a very anticlimactic wonder victory, and the time stands at 1 hour, 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Probably my best relative time ever. In the third mission, Pachacuti is out for his brothers, Urku, blood. The objective is to make as many friends as possible and kill the coward hiding up in the mountains. We get ambushed almost immediately, but they don't do much damage to us. We make some friends, and they join us. Find even more buddies, but apparently Pachacuti has to rub his nuts on their faces for them to realize who he is. The party grows big and strong, and some people even have to stay back due to grouping limitations. Another ambush ahead of us, also no problem for Pachacuti's mountain buddies. He is more effective than a monk, and we are given a heap of military units and buildings, including a castle. Game presents a big obstacle in form of a broken bridge, so we take the shallow water right next to it. Some llama lovers joined the cause. Plumed archers were Mayan, not Incan. Immersion ruined. Hey guys, wanna get weird with this? We sneak past Chanca's outpost to avoid unnecessary losses. We then meet some eager miners and a monk to join the Fellowship of the Mountain. Apomaita is tired of just walking and wants blood. I decide to give him what he wants, and we raise the Chanca camp for the resources. Fishermen are also welcome on the Fellowship. The party then stumbles upon a fierce slinger duo, and the hostile has the upper hand, and the Fellowship loses a valued member. But he is avenged almost instantly. After crossing the bridge, we are tasked with destroying another Chanca outpost, except this one supposedly gives us the ability to build strong siege units. It doesn't take long, and we are rewarded with steel-covered rams and onagers. Very Incan. With the army in position, I send the onagers to deal with the gates from the distance. I remove Pachacuti from battle because Kalas is dangerous and I just want to finish this fucking campaign. We take some mangonel hits, but ultimately we start poking the castle to get the coward Urku. They produce units very quickly and the army falls, but not before rendering the castle almost useless and removing Urku from hiding. Out of spite, I decide to go after him with onagers. Cuzco, filled with good intentions, sends us some siege units at the base of the mountain. Thanks, Cuzco. The final push starts and the castle drops almost instantly. Urku gets stoned to death and the scenario is over in 48 minutes and 48 seconds. Of course, the fun scenario is the quickest one to end. In the Falcon stand, we are given two armies separated by rivers, and our objective is to destroy 4 Wamankarpa castles and to defeat either Andahuaylas or Abancay. It is here that I realize that although the tooltip puts the Incas as an infantry civilization, they have access to arbalesters, so I decide to go full archer. We start with a lot of resources, so I drop a castle in front of both bases because the AI doesn't know how to deal with it. We are given the secondary objective to deal with Ancahualoc, the insufferable enemy from the second mission. Andahuaylas raid us, and I decide I will go scorched earth on them. Kola appears out of nowhere to help us out. Abancay kills some of my villagers, and now I am torn on who to raise. This is probably the worst dock ever built. In an act of swift revenge, I send the Eagle Warriors to kill Andahuaylas villagers outside of their walls. Another ally appears. The priests ask us for 8 villagers to join our cause. I prioritize that and start producing some. Gold is a scarce resource on this map, and I am forced to transport my villagers to the nearest gold vein. Andahuaylas raid me again. They will pay dearly for this. Abancay feels left out and decides to go specifically against the villagers I am sending to the priests. What a bitch. I send an eagle with my villagers to meet the Kola, and they launch their attack on Ancahualoc. The FOMO strikes, and I send my rams and archers to attack as well. We finally give the priests the 8 villagers and they join the fellowship. The archers are quite strong and we plow through Red's base with ease and kill Ancahualoc under his castle just to send a message. Message delivered and Red resigns. I look for the priest's contribution and find out I was granted 8 priests and their 2 relics. Not really worth the trouble I went through, considering the priests can't even carry the goddamn relics. Out of frustration, I launched the attack on Andahuaylas with a swarm of archers and all the rams I had. Somehow the Incas had access to napalm, but the Incan napalm towers are no match for the Incan steel-clad battering rams. Their town center falls. And their castle falls. The green pass is no more. We move towards Wamankarpa, as this is dragging too long and I am starting to really dislike this campaign. Pachacuti's forces gather outside of their walls, and the traps get a bit confused as to where to aim. The first castle falls quickly, as well as the second in quick sequence. After the gate drops, the rams act like a taxi driver and take the longest route possible towards the town center. But that is dealt with and we move towards the third castle, which also doesn't last. We murder everything on the way and move to the final castle. And that hits the ground just as fast. The pyramid dropping in the end is the icing on the cake, and the scenario is over in 1 hour, 21 minutes and 4 seconds. As we enter the final chapter of Pachacuti's story, the game gives us a primary objective to eliminate the 4 chieftains of Pachacamac with our very cool looking army. Cool looking and slow moving. The Rams start working on the walls as no one is kind enough to open it for us. Really not cool at all of them. The hunt begins and we kill the first chieftain. And the second. The third as well. And with the 4th chieftain dying, Pachacamac turns Cyan and we have a new base and new objectives. To bring 15 soldiers to the main pyramid of Chanca. Aren't these birds flying really low? A second objective appears, to capture the cisterns around the desert so Chanca dies of thirst. This bridge seems like a good place to wall off. I'm also told to destroy the water market of the Chimo, so I send a fleet of fire ships. They plow through it easy against the war galleys, but are very weak against towers, and not a lot of damage happens against the market. Time for some demolition ships. I'm gonna need more demolition ships. Meanwhile, we march towards liberating the first cistern. We get in with ease and start pounding the castle with the rams, which drops fast and the first cistern is captured. Another relic stuck in a stupid island. Who thinks this is a good idea? I'll never understand why the AI thinks a naked trap is a good attacking force. This game has been a masterpiece since it's been released, but naval warfare can fuck off. The army marches towards the second cistern and we get inside in no time. With the castle dropping, the second cistern and a random lost relic is ours. We rush to the last one and start blasting at the gates. Their castle is no match for the traps and falls as well, giving us control of the last cistern and possibly killing a lot of people of thirst. I train a new monk as my last one died of old age. The army then marches towards Chanca so we can have a parade under the pyramid. Oh no, don't kill me. Haha, you fall into my bait. Their stupid market finally falls, and we are attributed some resources. Not even a tenth of what we spent to destroy it. We start blasting at the walls, and then at the second layer of walls. Chanca is very well defended, but none of their defenses outranges a trap, so there's very little challenge for us. The army is eager to start the parade, only one castle to go. With it falling, the troops start dancing around the pyramid, with not a drop of worry for the castle raining arrows on them, and we end this nightmare in 1 hour, 31 minutes and 43 seconds. Total runtime, 6 hours, 8 minutes and 12 seconds. Garbage time for a garbage campaign. Don't get me wrong, the story of Pachacuti is really cool, but I felt like the recreation of it was incredibly annoying and had some objectives that just made the game drag on for far too long, and I didn't have nearly as much fun as I had on the previous ones. The timer stands at 21 hours, 57 minutes and 53 seconds. Almost a full day of playtime for the first 5 campaigns. This might take much longer than previously expected. Good thing I don't have a social life, haha! Gather your bow and horse, because we're ravaging half of the planet with your possible grandfather, Genghis Khan.